How are ya? Welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Fortnite Season 7 has been with us for long enough for players to have settled into their landing routines. This means we can highlight locations you can utilise for relatively safe starts and hopefully those easy wins. All location times are in the description below, and of course my super secret loot run is the last one on the list, so you stay for longer. FYI, these are tactical drops to give you the edge in battle, which will give you good loot, the ability to scout your enemies from a safe distance, and great rotations to pick and choose battles as the storm closes in. Too much talking, let's do this! By the way, use code Adamaru when using the shop and get a shout out like these awesome guys. Woo! Let's crack on! This is my personal favourite spot in Season 7. In the opening cinematic for Season 7, the iceberg brought in the Nutcrackers home, which can be found here on the map. Inside is a triple chest spawn. Of course, that requires a little RNG luck, and again, of course, I have no luck, but close by there's an outpost to loot. This location is swimming in materials, so grab loads so you're ready for your next sweaty build battle. My suggestion here is to travel towards Frosty Flights and see if there are any planes left. I've noticed by the time you've looted and grabbed those materials and got your backside down to Frosty Flights, the location is pretty empty and everyone has moved on, or there's only one person left who thinks they are safe and don't expect to be shot without warning. Another suggestion I have is that if there is a plane still around, wait until the very last second to use it. Even if you're in a fight, depending on meds, bide your time and have faith in the speed a plane can rescue you from the tick of the storm. And of course, use your heals out on the wing to both travel and med at the same time. In general, the sheer beauty of being the last one out of the storm and in a plane means you can pick and choose your next engagements. In this example, I didn't take a single bullet after I healed out of the storm. I was behind everyone the whole time and quickly took advantage of players never looking behind them. In the final circle, I have to admit I went a bit try-hard as I wanted to prove how simple winning in this manner is, even when in the storm and the safe zone is at the other side of the map. So yeah, I towered up like a sweaty Twitch streamer, and the last person was kind enough to just kill themselves. Lovely. So to recap, Nutcracker's house, beeline over to Frosty Flights, arrive in the zone as late as possible, take the high ground, win, rinse and repeat.
You crazy mother.
So the second spot gives varied results, the Outpost overlooking Pleasant Park. If you've seen the videos I make in previous seasons, you'll know that I adore the hotel nearby this location, but in Season 7 I found far too much action there to call it a safe drop, so I began to drop on the outpost above. The main reason is simple, it's all about those planes. With one of these beasts you'll be able to get to any storm circle with ease. My main reason for landing here are those almighty sightlines of Pleasant Park and the motel. From here, we can spot anyone and relay that information to our squad mates. It's also fantastic for third-partying other players and taking their eliminations without them realising where the hell you are. As the season progresses and depending on the bus direction, it's likely more people will drop here. If that happens, ignore the chests and grab a gun as soon as possible. It's not certain, but you should be able to take down the other players. Good luck with that one. From this point, if you're an aggressive player, get your ass into Pleasant and blindside everyone. In this game, we came out of Pleasant with 9 eliminations and barely fought anyone. But I know that's not for everyone. It's not really me, if I'm completely honest, unless I'm trying to hang on to the coattails of other players who are far beyond my skill level. For us mere mortals, our options are more about preservation. To stay completely out of the action, take a plane north up to this area of the map and loot in peace. Or my personal preference, move on to the motel area and after cleaning up there, take the rifts. I hate planes, by the way. I tend to avoid them as much as I can, but I realise how important they are in Season 7. Each of these landing spots is all about having the most options available to rotate to another area. A small but reliable spot to think about going to is this new location up in the northeast, next to the ever-changing block. This is Homestead Hangar. Let's point out the obvious first, there's a plane here. Depending on the content of the block, it's the only one here for miles around, so it's invaluable. In terms of loot drops, we have 5 chests to loot here at the homestead. 1 in the silo, 2 in the house, 1 in the back of a car, and 1 hiding in the back of the hangar. Going over to the ice cream truck could yield 2 more, and there's also 1 at the AA meeting on the hill. 8 chests in about 90 seconds. Oh, and remember the architect's house? It's had an upgrade. It's now made of brick and has 4 more chests if your luck holds out. From here you could venture into the block, but keep in mind it will be changing regularly over the season. There's also a kicker to dropping at Homestead Hangar. Should someone steal your plane or for some reason it doesn't spawn in, there are rifts north to keep you moving anywhere the storm forces you. So for a small starting point, it's pretty damn impressive. Back in Season 1, I loved to drop over the Caravan Park with Truckosaurus standing over there. Let's call it the Caravan Campsite to keep with the naming conventions. Well, in Season 7, this place has real potential again, and it's the first one on the list where you have to do a little bit of travelling to get to a plane, but it's definitely possible to grab one. But first, let's recount the chests on offer. There's 2 in the roof of the main building, which is a great starting point. In the Caravan area, there's loads of ammo drops and random weaponry to grab, and travelling north should yield yet another chest. Here's where you have an option or 6 to make. Stay and take all the metal on offer if you're playing a scrims match, maybe push into retail row. There really is quite a few options here. The only real disadvantage to this location is the hill overlooking Lonely Lodge. Here is a hot drop zone due to the planes on offer. We could flank around and take a zip wire up to that spot, or my preference, travel south to this hill with a bunch of rifts on it. Use this to rotate anywhere, dive bomb retail row, or maybe take the high ground above Lonely Lodge and grab one of those planes too. The options from this spot are multiple. Over in the snow area of the map is a super secret rift to uncover. This island here is usually deserted and holds 3 chests, 2 in the open and another in the shack. But whilst you're here, dig down a level and you'll find that secret perma-rift. Be sure to stack up on mats before leaving. Oh, and by the way, under that block of ice is another secret bunker, like the one up at Wailing Woods. So it's likely this area will thaw out as the season goes on. Maybe there'll be insta-travel between multiple bunkers. We'll have to wait and see. From this position, I tend to travel to the cave slightly north and 2 further chests inside. There's also one above too if you want to go that far up. A good plan is to knock down the plane inside, and although it's a pain in the arse to set free, use it to grab another plane which is less banged up on the small island south. There's also a chest on a ledge nearby and a football to play with. Once back in the air, you should be armed to the teeth, have a good amount of mats and be ready to attack other players from this unexpected position. It's common though not to see anyone here until you reach the top 10. Just remember to take meds if you want to fight in the storm. I can't count how many times I've killed myself in the storm. So damn close! I suggest going to the ski lodges, the chalets, or the ice sculptures nearby for easy looting with minimal risk. Last season I suggested a certain route for early game, starting with a drop at the castle at Haunted Hills. Well, in Season 7 the castle has been decimated. Funny thing is, it's still a great spot for a solo game. There's 4 chests regularly here. The most obvious spawn is the one in broad daylight, but there are others a little more cryptic. Occasionally you won't be alone as one other person tends to drop here. And you'll also need to stay aware of planes. Deal with them how you see fit. What's great now though is that the castle looks so decrepit that it deters players from landing here, but by doing so you'll have a great plan in place. Here's what to do. As quickly as possible, check the rifts to the north of the broken castle. If they aren't there, ignore the next piece of this plan. Looking around the castle, you're guaranteed to find either balloons, grapples, or a launching pad. Venture down into Haunted Hills. This place is awesome for loot. Depending on the circle, make your way back up the mountain to use those lovely rifts and rotate into the next circle. So many options here. The outpost above Pleasant is still a great point even at this late stage, as there may be one last plane waiting for you. Other than that, you can actually make it all the way to Tilted if you pop your umbrella instantly after using the rift. Remember to try and be the last one in the new circle to maximise your positioning and those good old easy kills. Finally, I found a loot run which is my favourite quick loot system in Season 7, which takes full advantage of zip lines and allows for checking enemy positions from afar. When dropping from the battle bus, beeline for the mountain with the dino bones on top, the one above Paradise Palms. It's possible for 2 chests to appear here. Coincidentally, over the 10 games I went here, 2 had a loot llama on this run. I know it's completely random, but I thought it was worth shouting out. Check out how many opponents are in Paradise, and then take the zipline south. Check again for foes over the junkyard, and then pick up these 2 chests over by the rocks. Next, take the zip line to the Winnebago and potentially 2 more chests. Again, look into a popular area. This time it's El Pueblo, or you'll probably call it Westworld. If it's empty, get in there and get looting. If it isn't and you don't want the fight, take the next 3 zip lines like this for the end of the run. this perfect little outpost with 3 more chests, and most importantly, a lovely aeroplane for your efforts. In around 2 minutes, you should have damn good loot and be aware of all your foes' positioning. Either double back and loot other areas or venture forward into battle. The world is your oyster. The thing which is even better about this beast route, it's actually possible to complete it later in the game. Should the 3rd storm circle be down here, use this loot run to upgrade your loadout and spy on all your enemy positions. It's bloody great, it really is. Right, we did it. A quick point though, about all these landing spots. They all have a high probability of launch pad drops, which are great for late game. They are invaluable in fact. Check out this example. I am a simply terrible player, but I can still use them to outmaneuver other players. And with potato aim as good as mine, the win is assured. Ooh, look, a streamer. They must be the console Tifu. Right, that'll do it, Gromit. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. If you'd like more Fortnite content, please think about liking and subscribing. And using my code in the shop is by far the best way to support me. I hugely appreciate it, but you be you. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you next time. Happy holidays.